Greetings everyone, it's Tom from Gozy Gamers at WSG in China, and I'm joined here today by Lorinda. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. This has been such an event. Just finished up a few minutes ago, and I think the place is still buzzing from that final.
Definitely. So I wanted to talk a bit more about you because you started casting only last year. All of a sudden you were in HCT tournaments. Tell us a bit more about who you are, where you come from, and how did you get into Hearthstone?
So I always loved computer games when I was a kid. We called them computer games when I was young. That's how old I am, I'm afraid.
Back in the day.
Back in the days, get off my lawn. And used to play in arcades, and people stood around me, and you play, and then I'm old. So what can I play? I can play Hearthstone. Let's get into that. And went on from there, really.
So you started casting about a year ago. How did you get into it? How do you think like, oh, I want to cast?
So I started streaming about 3 years ago, just to see if I was any good at it. Got like one viewer, then a year. Yeah, I didn't even spam myself, just get a viewer, see if anyone turns up, get 2 or 3. Used to leave my Xbox on to get one extra viewer. Sorry, Twitch. It built up to 20, 30, 50 viewers. And then I realised, hang on, this is Arena, it's not going anywhere. So this year I switched into Constructed. And yeah, it's worked out well for me. I realised I was never going to be a big streamer, like who wants to listen to a boring old guy. So I went into, casting for free, mainly under the Team Story stuff that Callum Leslie set up, rivals. And did that for free for quite a while, got my name out there. Then people start saying, oh, we need somebody, last second, who can you get? And every now and again, oh, that Lorinda guy, he knows how to speak a little bit, we'll have him.
Okay.
So.
And how do you enjoy the casting scene in general, and enjoying with other casters?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Nearly everybody, you muck in together. I mean, you go to an event and someone will say, hey, let's go to our room and research the players, research this, research that. And I love knowing, finding out all about all these people who are playing this game, because everybody in the game has got a story to tell. Like, especially Hearthstone, because there's a lot of very, very strong players who wanted to just play Hearthstone, but there's also players who are getting a bit old, who maybe have RSI from other games or wanted to stay in esports. And Hearthstone's perfect for them as well, so it's everybody getting together. I love it.
Yeah, for example, Strifeco is one of those players who used to play StarCraft and now plays Hearthstone, right? So, your nickname, Lorinda, where does it come from?
Okay, this story. So I was playing multi-user Dungeons, which was the forerunner to MMOs at university in 1990. And my male character, Keystone, nobody liked him because he was a bit of a knob. Okay. So everybody just kept killing me over and over and over again. So I thought, let's do the thing that everybody does on the internet. I'll be a girl, Lorinda. Leave university, everybody splits up. There's no Facebook, there's no Twitter, there's no way of staying in touch. And then online poker came along. I thought, I'll keep the name, so if I bump into any of the old uni guys, we can recognise each other. And so I kept the name, and then when I went into streaming, my friends were saying, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep it, or are you going to change it to something that isn't a girl's name? And I'm like, it'll stand out, I'll keep it. So I kept it.
Okay, and some other casters go by their full name. For example, we have TJ Sanders. Do you think it really matters in esports, or is it just fine as it is?
So when you're seen enough, I think that it doesn't matter, because a lot of people will tune into a show, they'll see this is TJ Sanders, and they'll just go, okay, that guy's called TJ Sanders. And whatever your name is, the first time you identify with that name, you don't really register, oh, that's really stupid. Sorry, TJ, not yours. And then, you just stick with it. So when you first start streaming, you get people drop by, oh, expected girl, leave, whatever. But when you start getting out there a bit more, like I've been lucky enough to do, thanks to the HCT caster search, I just got out there a bit more, and then people just accept it now.
Yeah, we saw last year the So You Think You Can Cast competition, which gave a lot of new space to Raven, to Subtle, to you as well. UK dominance everywhere. This year they're doing it again. Would you recommend people to subscribe or to apply?
Yeah, I think the deadline might have passed, but hey, enter anyway. Because even if you don't get in there first try, Blizzard have seen you. And if they've seen you, and maybe you improve through the year, if you're not good enough right now, you'll learn a lot from people saying, you might get a little bit of advice. Somebody might come along, watch your video and say, hey, you didn't win, but we like you did this. Might not be a Blizzard person, it might just be a random guy on Twitter who watches it and goes, hang on, I watched your video, do this, it might try it out. And yeah, you'll get there. Just everybody should enter if they're interested.
Yeah, because sometimes it can seem that things like casting are very up high there and very hard to reach, right? But what did the competition mean for you?
I mean, it changed my life, literally. I mean, oh no, cliches, but I was sitting there plodding away, doing the occasional small cast, and I got out there and I instantly got insomnia a couple of weeks later, and my name was just suddenly out there, and suddenly it's like, hey, come cast for us. Again, I've still been lucky. Nimch got promoted to, or moved sideways, we look at into Blizzard, so he can't cast now. That made one gap in the market. And there's a lot more Hearthstone now, so the top guys are often somewhere else. That made a few more gaps, and suddenly it's like, hey, who do we get? Oh, there's that guy, yeah, we'll have... And there'll be a whole new tier as well of people. There's just so much this year coming up. Even if you don't get the Blizzard jobs, if you're applying for stuff, there'll be other jobs that need casters while the other casters are at Blizzard. So yeah, everybody should give it a go.
Yeah, one of the things Blizzard is doing this year as well is the Hearthstone Global Games, and the Tavern.
So there's going to be the Tavern Invites, which I can't remember the name of it right now. There's going to be the Global Games, and there's going to be the TESPA. Is going to be cast by the sort of up and comers. That's what the competition's for this time around. And so yeah, there's a lot of opportunities out there just for Blizzard. And then, as I say, there's going to be the regular tournaments that other companies hold. And if everybody's casting at Blizzard, these other companies are going to need somebody.
What is your opinion on the expansion of Blizzard into other events than HCT?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think they're not too controlling with their product. They let everybody use their product. They are good, and they know what people like. There's a very different atmosphere when you're casting, say, for HCT, which I've done all of once, compared to some of the other events. You get a very strong directive at times, but it's not. You can do what you like within that directive, and they know where they want esports to go. And if they've got their hands on, they can get it in the direction they want it to go. They've got all the information, so they can make it good for all of us.
Yeah, I want to touch very quickly on the other casters in Hearthstone. Who's your favorite caster to cast with?
To cast with, so it's a coin flip, because Sottle taught me a lot of what I know. He's come and kicked my backside time and time again. You have to be able to take criticism in this business, by the way, guys. If you can't, you won't get there. He has helped me so much. But when you cast with TJ, he knows everything. He makes your job so easy. Sometimes you don't even realise, if you're watching TJ, how much he's helping the other guy. If you turn up with TJ, you've done your research, you don't have to ask him if he's done his. You just talk to him, and he knows everything there is. He makes you look so good as the other guy. Yeah,
TJ is not the full-time caster. He has another job as well, but I think very few people realize how well he does his research, I think.
No, he's insane.
And then a lot of people look at Frodan, for example, as the face in Hearthstone casting, obviously, and then he's at every Blizzard event and for expansion releases and everything. What do you think Frodan's role is in the casting community and in Hearthstone in general now?
I mean, Frodan can just do everything. He's good at the game, he's good at casting, he's got that brilliant flowing voice, conversational style, he can host. And his role to me, I mean, when I cast with him this weekend, it was, I think, the third time now. And it's just fantastic to cast with him. You learn so much, and he's happy to teach. If you walk up to him in the street and tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, Mr. Frodan, give me some tips, he'll probably not be happy, but if you're around and he wants to advise, he's given a lot of advice to a lot of people, and I think his role is to make the community of casters better and stronger as we go forward.
Okay, then to wrap up the interview, 2017 is for the large part still ahead of us. What's going to happen for you in 2017?
Oh no, putting me on the spot. So at this exact moment, I have precisely nothing lined up. Nothing, guys. But at some point, I'm hoping to just build on what I did last year. I'm going to keep working hard because I'm not a natural player. I have to put a lot of time into playing the game. Keep building on my research for knowing who did what where. That's kind of my strength. And hopefully I'll just get the same jobs or more as I did last year, but we'll see.
Alright, thank you very much. And thank you very much for watching, guys. Stay tuned to Go The Gamers for more Hearthstone content.